Welcome to Transform, Ignite, Disrupt, bringing you interviews and insights covering proven practical strategies to unlock your company's innovation potential. Here's your host, Stephen L. Blue.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Transform, Ignite, and Disrupt. Now, Transform, Ignite, and Disrupt is all about how you transform your companies, how you ignite innovation, and how you disrupt your marketplace. And that's pretty much the focus of this. But as I promised you before, every now and again, I'm going to deviate from that format, if you will. Whenever I see something in the news in the world that's galactically great or galactically stupid. And folks, I got to tell you, the Starbucks debacle, I've been trying to ignore that for the longest time. It's just something I didn't think was worth anybody's attention. If you haven't heard, Starbucks reactively and reflexively made a policy change because there was a couple of people in their store, and apparently some employees called the police, and the police came in and arrested them, and they were minorities. And all of a sudden the left rose up, and all the liberals, and this is wrong, you're discriminating against people, you're not inclusive, and all that, the whole brouhaha that just drives me crazy. And so what Starbucks did is they made a policy decision that we're inclusive people. We're an inclusive restaurant, and we're going to let anybody come into our stores anywhere in the continental United States for any reason, whether they buy anything or not. And so, that's just the kind of people we are. And so that's what they did. And within days, the whole thing came shattering around them, because what happened was they had homeless people in there who weren't buying anything. They had people in there smoking cigarettes, which they're not supposed to be able to do anyway, but they're inclusive people, the Starbucks bunch. And then they had people drinking alcoholic beverages in there. They had people urinating in the bathrooms and not using the toilets. And it was just an absolute mess. And within days. And now all the employees, and so the regular paying customers don't have room because of everybody else that's inclusively allowed into Starbucks. So, let's look at the fundamentals of this. Starbucks is a private corporation. It's private property, it's private buildings, and they have the right to only allow people who buy something to come in there. That's the right they have. Imagine this, imagine this, you have a company, a manufacturer, and you allow anybody that wants to come into your building anytime they want and do anything they want, or not do anything they want, and not purchase any of your products. Would you allow that? I mean, that's insanity. Absolute insanity. And this policy of inclusion was no doubt cooked up by some human resource weenie in Seattle or wherever their corporate headquarters is, thousands of miles away, who has no idea what the real world of business is all about. But they did it. And so then when all of these people who weren't doing anything and were crowding out regular customers, smoking, drinking, homeless people and all that. And by the way, if Starbucks wants to help homeless people, why don't they take some of those bazillion dollars in profits they make and put it into a homeless shelter, or start a fund for helping people that are homeless find homes. But so anyway, they did this dumb policy, and then a couple of days later, there's some weenie up in corporate headquarters goes, oh no, now we have to have another dozen policies for how you handle each one of these situations that the first dumb policy decision created. And so they have a policy now for if someone is smoking in the restaurant, here's how you handle it. They have a policy for if a homeless person comes into the restaurant and there isn't a room for a customer, how do you handle it? They have a policy now for what do you do about someone who is drinking alcoholic beverages in the restaurant. And so they have like another dozen new policies that they've created to try to correct the dumb policy move that they made to begin with. And here's the problem. They made a dumb policy move to begin with. And what they should have done is they should have rescinded that policy move and say, we made a mistake. This isn't working out. We're not going to let anybody walk into our restaurant, whether they are a customer or not, whether they want to buy anything or not. We're just not going to do that. We're sorry, folks. And now they're trying to patchwork this dumb policy decision. And so my advice to anyone who's listening to this is, if you make a dumb policy decision, we all do. I mean, it happens. when you recognize the policy is all wrong, don't try to do a patchwork of policy fixes that you thrust upon all the employees below you to fix the original policy problem. Just admit it. Say, hey, look, we were wrong, and we shouldn't have done that, but we did, and now we're going to rescind it. And then just take the heat. They'd have taken the heat to begin with and not cave to the pressure from the left and the liberals, they wouldn't have this problem. So now they've got a nightmare on their hands, an absolute nightmare on their hands. They're trying to fix the bad move they did to begin with. And so my advice to all of you out there, folks, make a dumb policy move, just rescind it, just correct it, just eliminate it. The problem is most companies try to manage their businesses with policies. You cannot manage a business with policy. Yes, you have to have some broad parameters. I've got them in my company. You have to have some broad policies, but you cannot possibly create policies to anticipate every single situation that's liable to come up, that's likely to come up, that's remotely to come up in your business. You can't do it. The only way you can manage your business is by having a culture that enables people, that empowers people, that enlightens people, that encourages people, that gives them the freedom to make decisions. And then you hire the right people who will make the right decisions instead of the wrong people who will make the wrong decisions. That's the only way that you can possibly manage a business. So my advice to you is don't make policy decisions that are bad. If you do, rescind them, and don't try to run your business with policies. Run your businesses with a culture of empowerment, what I call the Cirque du Soleil culture. People who are jazzed up to come to work every day and who are interested and excited about performing better today than they did yesterday. That's the kind of culture that you want. You have a culture like that, you don't need dumb policies. You don't need some human resource weenie in corporate headquarters deciding what's best for people in the operating part of the business. You won't need any of that at all. You try a culture of Cirque du Soleil and you would be amazed at how far that will take you. So that's my thinking today of the debacle of Starbucks, and my advice to Starbucks too is dump all those dumb policies that you created to fix the bad policy move you made. Just rescind the policy move you made, take the heat. It'll be in the media for a couple of days. You'll maybe have some protesters outside of your store, and it'll all go away, and just wait for it to go away and get on with your business. So we'll see you next time for the next episode of Transform, Ignite, and Disrupt.
You've been listening to Transform, Ignite, Disrupt. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or listen to past episodes, visit StephenLBlue.com.